Hi everybody, it's BB here to read a story to you today. The story I've chosen is called Jackalope. It's by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummel. And a cool little thing about it is that they came to Waxahachie where I live recently, and I had it autographed to BB's Babies, that's y'all, from Susan Stevens Crummel and Janet Stevens 2024. So this is the story, and it starts out by asking you a question. Ever seen a jackalope? Probably not, because they're gone, extinct, like dinosaurs and go-go boots. Ever wonder what happened to them? I know, because two silly sisters told me. They said it was the absolute truth. Here we go. Gather around, come sit on the ground, and I'll tell you a tale of a hare. And all of it's true, as best I recall, except for some parts here and there. The branches are full on the Jack family tree, with jackrabbits famous and not. There's Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack in the Box. Folks talk of those two a lot. But one branch is empty, and all that is left is a sign that hangs down by a rope. A sign with the name of the Jack who is gone, and it says one word, Jackalope. Once upon a time, in the land of cactus and cattle, there lived a very unhappy jackrabbit. I hate being ordinary. Nobody notices me. Nobody runs away from me. Nobody is afraid of me. I can be fierce too, can't I? I'll ask Mirror. He always tells the truth. Hey, Mirror, look at this. Jackrabbit froze at his scariest pose. Mirror, mirror, cracked and small, who's the fiercest one of all? He waited for a reply. At the risk of being rude, I think Longhorn's one mean dude. That wasn't what Jackrabbit wanted to hear, was it? This book is brand new, so the pages are a little hard to separate. Longhorn, that overgrown piece of beef jerky? I can be scarier than he is. Look at this. Jackrabbit twisted his ears sideways, snorted and pawed at the ground like a longhorn. Mirror, mirror on the tree, who's the scariest? Say it's me. Heed my words, for they are true. Horned-toad's scarier than you. Horned-toad, that stubby little pancake? I can be more ferocious than she is. Look at this. Jack rolled in some mud, shaped his fur into spikes like Horned-toad. Mirror, mirror hanging there, say that I'm one scary hare. Jack, you only make me smile. Give it up, it's not your style. Jackrabbit grabbed Mirror off the tree. Mirror, mirror, piece of glass, here you go, in the grass. He tossed Mirror on the ground and walked off. Have you ever heard of a horned toad? We don't see them very much, but they're still around a little bit. They're not extinct. Jack saw a lone star in the evening sky. Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. Listen up, hear my plea. Make me anything but me. And while you're at it, star, I'd like some fangs, some claws, and maybe a stinger. A big, sharp beak and pointy horns, real ones. He curled up, closed his eyes, and tried to sleep. Jack wasn't happy being himself. He had to be scary and feared. He wished, he'd hoped, he'd tossed and he turned. At dawn, a strange creature appeared. I bet you already know what it is. Someone poked at Jack in the ribs. Having a bad hair day? Who are you? I'm your fairy godrabbit. You wished on a star, and that's where I come in. See this star on my wand? Star wishes are the only ones I can grant. I don't do wishbones, wishing wells, birthday candles, and all that other stuff. Now, let us see. You wished for fangs, claws, a stinger, beak, and horns. Sorry, there's a one-wish limit. Jackrabbit shook his head. I want them all. I can't choose. I know what I'd wish for. Some normal clothes. Fairy Godrabbit rolled her eyes. Look at me. I look like a tossed salad. Dressed in this get-up is for the birds. I wish... Hey, is it your wish or my wish? Jack interrupted. Okay. I see you don't care at all about me. So choose. Jack paused. I want horns. Horns, Fairy Godmother moaned. Why did it have to be horns? I've turned pumpkins into carriages, frogs into princes, and rags into gowns, but I've never done horns. I'll have to look this up. Luckily, I brought my new, unabridged, fully illustrated, first time in paper book, step-by-step copy of Wishes for Wabbits. Fairy Godrabbit flipped through the pages. Chapter 8. Wishes beginning with H. Hair, longer, shorter? No. High heels, glass, ruby? No. Oh, here it is. Horns, trumpets, trombones. Now that'll look cute on your head. I think you mean these horns, like antlers. Ready, Jack? She waved her wand. Wait, it says there's one condition. Never tell a lie or else... Just hurry up, snapped Jack. Magic dust, do your stuff. Make this hair mean and tough. Pointy horns are his hope, and make them like antelope. Poof! When the magic dust had settled, there stood Jackrabbit with horns like an antelope. You might just call him a jackalope. He pranced, he strutted, he puffed out his chest. His horns were a sight to behold. At last he was scary, at last he was fierce, but Jackalope had to be told. Mirror, mirror on the ground, who's the scariest one around? There was no reply. Who needs that silly old mirror anyway? I know I'm the scariest one of all. Jackalope left Mirror in the grass and headed down the path to find Hummingbird. Hey, Hummingbird, look at me. Jack froze in his scariest pose. Jack, where'd you get those horns? They're mine and I've always had them, Jackalope boasted. You remember what Fairy Godrabbit said? Zip. She didn't say what would happen, but I think we know what did happen when he was not truthful. Jumping jackrabbits, those horns grew right before my very own eyes. Hummingbird zoomed away and almost flew smack dab into Squirrel. Hey, Squirrel, look at me. Jackalope froze in his scariest pose. Jack, where'd you get those horns? They're mine and I've always had them, Jackalope boasted. Zip. It happened again. Leaping lizards, those are rowan horns. I'm out of here. Squirrel hightailed it down the path. Jackalope teetered from the weight of his head. Being scary is hard work, he said to himself. But Jackalope was not alone. Two eyes were watching, two ears were listening, and one mouth was watering too. Coyote was tired of acorns and berries. He wanted some jackrabbit stew. Well, look at you, said Coyote. Jackalope turned. Are those horns I see? Coyote stepped closer. How extraordinary. I really can't see them from so far away. I need a better look. He stepped even closer. Well, can I touch them? He reached out and jumped at Jackalope. The chasing began, and the two of them ran up and down, in and out, all around. As Jackalope dived for his old hiding place, his huge horns got stuck in the ground. Help! Jackalope struggled. Well, isn't this handy? Coyote snickered. Dinner waiting to be cooked. A jackrabbit kebab. I'll just build a fire right under him. He's not going anywhere. Coyote wandered off to look for firewood. I'm stuck. Why did I wish for these horns? Jackalope cried. Fairy Rabbit, come back. Okay, you don't have to yell. I'm right here. My, look at those horns. Just how many lies have you told? Lies? I haven't told any lies, Jack replied. Zip. Okay, maybe a few. Now how do you get rid of these horns? Beats me. Fairy Rabbit shook her head. You get one wish. You wanted horns. You got horns. But surely you can undo a wish. Hurry, look it up. Jackalope pleaded. Coyote's coming back and he's going to roast me like a hot dog, gobble me up whole and pick his teeth with my horns. Now, that's a problem, Fairy Rabbit opened her manual. Here it is, chapter 27, Undoing Wishes. Number 1, you can't. Number 2, if you think you can, see number 1. Oh dear, tough luck. Maybe I can move the horns, transplant them. I'll give it a try. Magic dust, rescue hair, put those horns over. There's a nice piece of kindling for my fire. Coyote grabbed the wand from Fairy Rabbit. Magic dust sprinkled all over her. Poof. The horns disappeared from Jackalope's head. He hopped up and dashed out of sight. But where do you think those horns reappeared? On Fairy Rabbit, that's right. Jack kept running. He bolted up a hill and jumped into a hollow tree. Coyote shrugged. Hair today, gone tomorrow. He turned and eyed Fairy Rabbit. Dinner ran off, but here's dessert. She glared. You better not come any closer or I'll squash you. Yeah, right, laughed Coyote. I'm gonna toast you like a marshmallow. He grabbed her by the horns, stuck her in the ground, and went to find more wood. Someone help me, screamed Fairy Rabbit. Prince Charming, knight in shining armor, ex-Jackalope, I know you're out there. I could use your help, please. Way down deep in that dark hollow tree, Jack heard her cries of distress. Should he go save Fairy Rabbit now, or should he stay put? What a mess. Jack thought fast. I have to go back. He struggled out of the tree. His fur was covered with sticky sap. She helped me. Now she needs me. Hold on, Fairy Rabbit. I'm coming to the rescue. He dashed downhill, then tripped, rolled, bounced, and rolled some more. Everything in his path stuck. Leaves, twigs, weeds, dirt, cactus. The farther Jack rolled, the bigger he got. Meanwhile, Coyote lit a fire under Fairy Rabbit. Rustle, rustle. What's that? Coyote wondered. Rustle, rustle, rustle. Who's there? He looked around. Rustle, rustle. Hey, Coyote, look at me. Can you see Jackalope under there just a little bit? Coyote turned, gasped, and burst out laughing. Ha ha, giant bush rabbit. That's the funniest thing I've ever seen. He laughed so hard, he hee-hawed like a donkey and snorted like a pig. His laugh became a howl, and he howled so hard he tumbled right downhill into the stream. Coyote was still howling as he floated away. Jack pulled Fairy Rabbit out of the ground and stamped out the fire. Oh, Jack, I knew you'd turn up. How brave. You really are my knight in shining stuff. He even has squirrel stuck in there. Fairy Rabbit picked up a charred stick. Her star wand burned. My wand is burned to a crisp. No more magic dust, no more wishes, and I'm stuck with these horns forever. You could decorate them with ornaments. Jack chuckled. Wait a minute. Somewhere in this mess there might be some magic dust left on me. On me too, cried Fairy Godrabbit. They shook and twisted and turned and danced. Stuff flew everywhere. Leaves, twigs, weeds, dirt, cactus, vegetables, magic dust. Quick, make a wish, said Jack. Fairy Godrabbit took a deep breath. Magic dust one last time. Oh, my dear, this won't rhyme. Just get these horns off me now. Poof. The horns vanished. That's it. My Fairy Godrabbit days are over. Now I'm just an ordinary hare, so it's back to my ordinary name, Jill. She turned and walked away. Wait, cried Jack. Stay. We can be ordinary together. Like two peas in a pod. Jill paused. Didn't you want to be scary and fierce? No way. It's hazardous to my health, said Jack. Ordinary safer. I'm happy that way, and if you stayed here, I'd be happier, even with your corny vegetable talk. Oh, how can I believe you, asked Jill. Remember, zip. Let's ask Mirror, said Jack. He always tells the truth. Mirror, mirror, friend so small, who's the happiest one of all? There was no reply. Hello, Mirror, are you there? I don't just reflect, I need your respect. Jackrabbit picked up the mirror and polished it. Mirror sparkled. Who's the happiest? Now it's 3, Jack and Jill and Mirror. That's me. Aw. Oh, look, peeking behind. A real antelope. Hold on, it's not over. There's more. 2 eyes were watching and 2 ears were listening and 1 mouth was watering too. Cody had worked up a huge appetite, and not just for Jackrabbit's stew. He gobbled up Jack and he gobbled up Jill. His belly was starting to hurt. He gobbled up Squirrel and Hummingbird too, and the mirror was his dessert. The end. Just kidding. You didn't believe that, did you? Don't worry. Here's what really happened. Jackalope's gone, but the legend lives on as I tell his tale here and there. And you don't all mope for that old Jackalope, for he's happy to be just a hare. Mirror and Jack and their new buddy Jill were a trio forever, they say. And if it's real quiet, you know you can hear that coyote still howling today. So when you're out gazing at night at the sky and you happen to see the first star, why don't you be wishing for something you're not? Why don't you be wishing for something you're not? It's better to be who you are. The end. Really. Armadillo had us fooled for a minute, didn't he? Well, that about wraps it up. Hey, speaking of something you're not, listen to this. Did you know that a jackrabbit isn't a rabbit? It's a hare. The babies aren't bunnies. They're called leverets. And they're born fully furred, eyes wide open, ready to hop. Jackrabbits outrun their natural enemies, including coyotes, by using their strong hind legs. They need that plain fur for camouflage. Jackrabbits like to eat herbs and shrubs. The antelope of North Texas isn't really an antelope, it's a pronghorn. It can run faster than most other animals in the world, but it never jumps over a fence. Get this, its horns are unique. They're not antlers, but they branch, shed, and grow back like antlers. Nearly half the pronghorn's diet is cactus. Yuck! And remember that horned toad? It's not a toad, it's a lizard. It's very gentle, but it scares off predators by doing some scary looking things, like puffing up its body to make it look bigger and squirting blood from its eyes. Whoa! It lives by eating ants. It eats live ants by lassoing them with its long, sticky tongue. The 2 silly sisters who told me this story don't eat shrubs, cactus, or ants. They like to graze at all-you-can-eat buffets. And take off those listening ears and unzip your lips. I'd better be on my way. Adios. And there goes our friend Armadillo with his chair. One last page. And here are some other books by Janet Stevens and Susan Stevens Crummel. And you can check them out at your library, or keep listening and I might read some of those to you as well. I hope to see you soon.